Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Vicarage Road here in Watford for a big game. Certainly in Watford, one of two teams yet to taste victory in the Premier League, the other one being Wolverhampton Wanderers. They start the day bottom of the table with 1 point from their first 4 games. They got rid, quite harshly I thought, of Javi Gracia a week last Saturday, and then they brought back Quique Sanchez Flores for his second spell at the club, a club he left in 2016 having got Watford to 13th place. It's going to be difficult for Watford today, but they will have been inspired by the heroics of Norwich City yesterday when they beat the reigning Premier League champions Manchester City and really played them off the park by winning 3-2. So it just proves in the Premier League that anything can happen, and Unai Emery's Arsenal, well, they'll want to try and put things right, but it's going to be really tough. But it's a terrific atmosphere, as I say, and I honestly think that there could be an opportunity here in the offing. But it's anyone's guess what's going to happen here today. It's a tremendous atmosphere for this game, and who knows what might happen. Also, I can confirm that we will be doing the Monday night match tomorrow evening, and that will be between two teams in Coventry and Blue, and one of them does not involve and none of them involves Burnley. I'm sad to say. Burnley played against Brighton on Saturday and got a 1-1 draw, and that is something I'll touch on a little bit tomorrow night when I've calmed down from all the excitement and the vigour of this game, as the teams are almost ready to get us going. We're just waiting for the for the teams in the tunnel. There they are. Arsenal and Watford, not too far away from each other on the footballing landscape, of course, but a real local affair. This Watford stand 10. It's a 10-mile radius between these two sides, and it's a little bit of a local derby, really. It's not as fierce as the Tottenham game here, obviously, but it is a really good. It is a really good atmosphere building here at Vicarage Road. And the atmosphere, as I say, will be superb. We're just waiting for the teams to come out. In fact, they are coming out now onto the field, and we'll be seeing them interview in just a second. They're being greeted by 20,000 or so Watford fans who have made their way into this fantastically looking Vicarage Road ground now. It looks an awful lot better than what it was before. And it's a gorgeous ground, and I've no doubts in my mind that Watford's ground now looks in really splendid nick, and it's going to be a tremendous game of football, and we're going to enjoy it here live on the JB Claret YouTube channel for your listening pleasure. Right, let me give you the two lineups then before we begin this penultimate game of this Premier League. Of the Premier League weekend. Of course, we've got one more game to come tomorrow. That's between Aston Villa and West Ham, and that will be live with us tomorrow evening. Kick-off for that game at 8 o'clock, incidentally. Right, Watford side first. No Troy Deeney for suspension, and no Craig Cathcart for injury. So this is their lineup. They're the notable absentees. So it's Ben Foster in goal, and then it's Firmino, Dawson, Cabazelli and Jose Hoybas, the back four. Then it's Decore, Etienne Capoue, former Spurs man, and Will Hughes, Tom Cleverley, Gerard Deulofeu and Andre Gray will have to lead the line in Troy Deeney's absence. On the bench for the Hornets, the Watford team, the bench, Aurelio Gomez, who has come out of retirement to play again this season, or to be a part of the squad this season, Damo Yamat, Adrian Mariappa, Nathaniel Chalobah, Sarr, Falcao and Pereira. Arsenal Strongish lineup, no Lacazette, but they do have a strong side. It's Leno in goal, then it's a back four of Maitland-Niles, Socrates, David Luiz and Konashniak, and then it's Xhaka, Guendouzi, Cabellos, Ozil in the midfield, and then obviously further up front I would say Ozil, Aubameyang and Nicolas Pepe up front. He's an exciting young player. I've been impressed with him when we covered the North London derby a fortnight ago. On the bench, Torreira, Chambers, Nelson, Martinez the substitute keeper, Joe Willock, Silva and Saka. The referee today, the referee today comes from Greater Manchester. That's Anthony Taylor, of course. The two linesmen, Gary Bezic on the far side and Adam Nunn on the near. The fourth official today is Peter Banks, I should say. And the VAR people, Chris Kavanagh is the VAR referee, and his assistant is Daniel Cook. On a bright, sunny afternoon here in Hertfordshire, at Vicarage Road. It's a local derby in every sense. I know it's not the fiercest of local derbies compared to what they had to face a couple of weeks ago against Tottenham, but it's one that Watford will be anxious to win. Arsenal having to come back from 2-0 down in the last game, and a very happy Russ Burnham. Obviously Leeds won earlier today as Quique Sanchez-Flores waves to the Watford supporters before taking charge of his first game of the second spell in charge. He left the club 3 years ago, and well, it was a bit of a raised eyebrows when Javi Gracia was harshly sacked, but if they were to get a win here today and get off the mark in terms of wins, it would certainly lift them above Wolverhampton Wanderers, are the only other team not to have won this season in the Premier League. They were beaten 5-2. Can Watford pull off a Norwich and shock Arsenal? We're underway here in Hertfordshire at Vicarage Road as De La Feu gets the early touch there. Watford attacking from left to right in the first half. Arsenal, and they're in their yellow and black half shirts with black shorts and white, yellow stockings, I should say. And also they have red Adidas stripes down the side of the sleeves, down the top of the sleeves. And of course, Arsenal in their famous red and white shirts, white shorts and white and red trimmed stockings. As Socrates gets the ball out and finds David Luiz. Him and Guendouzi, I had a lot of trouble. 13th meeting in the league. Watford have won 2 of them. Arsenal 10, and no draws in Premier League history between the two as yet. But hopefully all bets will be off that happening today. But can Watford be inspired by the heroics of Daniel Farke's Norwich yesterday and get 3 valuable points? As Arsenal have it on the far side here, and it's Aubameyang who's just started out on the far side here at the start. And Arsenal just relaxing into their pattern of play. As Guendouzi gets the ball down the line, but he's lost it to De La Feu. Watford have not won in the 8 Premier League games, stretching back to last season, which is a concern. Haven't actually won properly really since that heroic comeback at Wembley back in April in that FA Cup semi-final when they were 2-0 down and absolutely had a bit against Wolves. They were threatening to run away with that semi-final, you may remember, at Wembley, and then they came back from the dead and won the game deservedly, as it turned out, by 3-2. But then they were humbled, and then obviously reaching the final, it took a bit of a dip in league form, and ultimately they lost the cup final 6-0, you may recall, to Manchester City, who, as I say, were beaten at Norwich yesterday. Liverpool 5 points clear at the top now after 5 games. And that's an all-time Premier League record at this stage of the season of a lead between first and second in the Premier League. That's a new record, all-time record. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward down the left-hand side, and the ball almost finding Pepe. Well defended there by Watford. One of the Watford defenders getting back there. I think it might have been Decore sliding in there just about 25 yards from goal, certainly 10 yards from the edge of the D as he slid in there, because that ball was definitely going the way of Nicolas Pepe at that precise moment towards the right hand side. Now then, Arsenal pick the ball up on the near side, and Pepe's on his way again. Maitland-Niles is putting through. He's on the right hand side. Pepe puts a Well, another good ball there. Looking for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and well, yet to score for Arsenal. And what I've heard about him on what there has been said about Pepe is an exciting player, but the Arsenal fans are a little bit concerned if you watch Arsenal fan TV that he hasn't scored yet for Arsenal. They want to see him put a few in, but what the Arsenal fans have got to realise is that it takes time for a player of Pepe to really settle in to things. It took Pep Guardiola a season to settle into management life in the Premier League. So it's anyone's guess what could well happen here. But Watford must be inspired today. A new manager. Anything can happen as Leno kicks the ball away. But Arsenal, remember, made an absolute stinking start. You may remember in the North London derby against Tottenham last time out. There's Will Hughes, the man they signed from Derby County a couple of years ago now. Going to be difficult really for Watford without their talisman and leader, and he's a typical leader. 4 minutes gone, it's 0-0 if you've just joined us, and it's Watford now in possession with Firmino getting it forward, but it's too long, the ball down the right hand side. It's out of play and behind for an Arsenal goal kick. 4.25 minutes gone. It's a Watford 0, Arsenal 0. Earlier today, Bournemouth 3, Everton 1. 2 goals for Callum Wilson, and again we better check the fifth Ashes test because it's the final test match of the summer, and the Ashes have already gone, by the way, but they're playing really well, England, at the moment. Australia chasing 199 more runs to win. They needed 399 to win. They're currently 200 for 5, and at the moment Harris has gone for 9, Warner caught behind for 11, Labuschagne out for 14. Steve Smith gone for a relatively tweet 23. Wade is still there on 78, not out. Really good rearguard action, but here come Watford again. We'll come back to the cricket shortly. It's Watford play the ball in from the right hand side, and Gray was waiting in the centre, the former Burnley man, but it was well dealt with there by David Luiz on the 6-yard line for Arsenal. 0-0 is the score. 5 minutes gone here on the Game Live. Tomorrow we're at Villa Park for the final fixture of the 5th round of Premier League games, and then we're into European football again for another season of Champions League commentaries, Europa League as well. Plenty of British interest in both competitions. The 4 English teams in the group stages of the Champions League, namely Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham and Chelsea. As Delafeu picks the ball up left hand side, 25 yards from goal, cuts inside, gets his right foot shot off and he bends it in, and Leno at the second attempt grabbed it. And we've seen the first shot on target, and it was well saved in the end by Leno, although it took a little bit, although he juggled with it a little bit there, as there was a Watford player coming in on the rebound. Here's Xhaka now in the centre of midfield. I'll come back to the cricket later. There's just so much happening here on the field here at Vicarage Road. It's hard to take your eyes off this for a second. Watford 0, Arsenal 0. Watford yet to win. 3 defeats and a draw from their first 4 games. And Guendouzi now. Good football again. Pepe takes possession on the right hand side. Goes past Delafeu as if he didn't exist. And he plays Maitland-Niles against the crossing in. Surely he was taken out, and the referee's got to pull that back, surely. And Holebas is in a bit of trouble having made that challenge. He's injured at the moment. So too is Maitland-Niles. Well, I think the referee should be pulling this back for me. Oof, that was a horrible challenge by Holebas. And he was a fraction late, and then obviously Maitland-Niles' trailing leg caught Holebas on the side of the face. I think it's only a throw-in, I think, to Arsenal. 7 minutes gone, it's goalless, but it is a free kick. The referee did well there. Anthony Taylor, good referee. Not one of my favourite referees, for obvious reasons, being a Burnley fan, because he's made 1 or 2 harsh decisions against us in the past, but he didn't make a bad decision there. Free kick. It is now to Arsenal. It's number 10, Mesut Ozil. He was subject to those horrible robberies before the start of the season. His security was placed under a lot of pressure. But he's okay. He's over the worst of it now, and he's ready to don the Arsenal shirt and play again. Free kick on the right hand side, just on the edge of the penalty area on the right hand side. Ozil curls it in towards that far left hand post, and it was well headed away. It comes out to Maitland-Niles though, midway inside the Watford half, finds David Luiz now, or Guendouzi I should say. It's very hard to, they are like twins, those two, I've got to tell you. David Luiz and Guendouzi, they're like twins. Here's Ozil on the right hand side, chests it down, keeps the ball in by that near touch line, does really well. Finds Guendouzi still on the right hand side, now it's in field. Maitland-Niles takes possession, finds Granit Xhaka, Xhaka out to the far side. Now a chance for Kolasinac to try and find a way through. Still no way through yet. Xhaka back to Kolasinac. Two losses in 2 Premier League games this season. As Socrates, the Greece international, gets the ball, finds his colleague David Luiz, plays for Brazil of course. A man who's built a reputation on being sort of a goal-scoring midfield, goal-scoring centre-back if you like. As Guendouzi now finds play on the far side. I just want to say, everybody, that if we can get to 600 subscribers today, that would be amazing. What a way that we could mark the 600 subscription with a good game of football. And whoever gets to 600 will get a mention in the credits at the end. So important that we get to 600, and I'll make a video about how far we've come as a channel as well. And to say thank you. Meanwhile, whilst I was talking to you there, Kolasinac is fouled just inside the Arsenal half by Andre Gray, I think, and a free kick it is to Arsenal. Probably trying to lay it in. Gray losing possession and then fouling his man there just via the centre circle. It wasn't a particularly good challenge. Kolasinac is okay and ready to go on. Right, so let's just go back to the... So, Roy's not out 78. And there's just been another wicket, so it's 200 for 6. Tim Payne, the captain, has just gone LBW to Jack Leach, the spinner, for 21. Mitchell Marsh was caught behind bowled root for 24. There's been 20 extras, and we've had 56 overs so far of the second innings. And England now, Australia, 200 for 6. And so Watford come forward again. Good shot and over the top for the right foot. Turned over by Leno. It was Tom Cleverley, the former Manchester United youngster, with the shot. And he turned it away superbly there, Leno. Watford starting to get on top a little bit here. Good right foot drive. And Leno having to tip that over the crossbar. It was a really good effort. Swirled a little bit in the air, which made the save a little bit awkward there for Leno, but even so, it was a great save. Nearly 11 minutes gone in the first half, and Watford have forced them the first couple of opportunities, and they forced Leno into making a couple of decent saves. They have a corner on the right hand side. Dawson, Capu. The Corey ball forward from the back, all forward here, certainly Dawson from the back. Gray standing in right on Leno's eye line. Corner comes in from Delafeu, far side, in towards the penalty area. It comes out again. Still a chance to cross in from the left hand side. It's kept in play. Now it's back for Cleverley. Cleverley shoots again with his right foot to the left of the D this time, and it bends in very comfortably for Leno, who can take the ball, gather it in, dive on top of it, and just give Arsenal a little bit of respite here as Watford looking to lay siege here, looking for their first Premier League win of the season, having lost 3 of their first 4. 1 point they have from 4 games, which did for Javi Gracia and Quique Sanchez Flores, the former Watford man who lost his job here just 3 years ago, back here, reappointed by the Pozzo family, the very people who sacked him at that time as well. Talking during the England games last week, how many managers the Pozzos have been through in 7 years of owning the club, and they must have been through about 14 or 15 since Gianfranco Zola was the manager at Vicarage Road. They were first, well, you could go back to Sean Dyche's reign back in 2012 when I thought he was very harshly done to, but he also allowed Burnley to get them in at their expense, and look what happened to Burnley. Well, here we are in our 5th season out of 6 in the Premier League, but back into this game, and it's Delafeu into the area. This is good skills by the Spaniards. Delafeu pulling the ball back, and then the shot in the end from Olivas with his left foot goes over the top from the edge of the area. But Watford really going for it in the opening exchanges here of this game. really playing with some adventure. And Delafeu is at the hub of all things that have been really good for Watford, so too cleverly. Probably felt he could have gone for a shot earlier there as he cut inside, but he went for the cross back, the cut back, and Hollybass with his left foot, on the edge of the penalty box, just side-footing that over the bar. And Arsenal now just struggling to play out from the back now. Can they start getting some play forward again? And it's Pepe now having to do some defensive work and find a way out of this very, very difficult maze here. And of course, Kike Sanchez-Flores led Watford to a 13th place finish. The ball attempted crossfield ball from the left was well covered there by Ben Foster. England at the moment need 4 wickets to win the final test against Australia. The Ashes have gone, but a 2-2 draw wouldn't be a bad end to the summer, which has already brought them some major silverware in the Cricket World Cup, of course. That never to be forgotten final at Lords, where it went to that champagne super over and Jofra Archer held his nerve, and England won. And England won it on the barest of margins, as the commentator that day said. Konashniak now for Arsenal, just getting the ball back to David Luiz. Leno has made 2 or 3 good saves so far in this opening almost quarter of an hour here at Vicarage Road. Tomorrow we're going to be up the Midlands in Birmingham at Villa Park, and it's going to be Aston Villa against West Ham United. A real battle roll there, and we'll take our first look at Dean Smith's revamped Villa, and our first look at West Ham as well, as Pepe comes bundling down the right hand side. Ball played back across, and it was well defended and well cut out. And now a chance now for cleverly to hold it up on the left hand side. Good football again from Watford. They're showing plenty of spirit here. And Decore now, and Capoue gets it back from Delafeu. Capoue now, the former Tottenham man, looking to put one against Arsenal here. Wouldn't that be ironic? Quarter of an hour gone. It's Watford 0, Arsenal 0. Watford having the better of things. Ball played into the penalty area. There's only just one man inside the penalty area. That was great, but it come off Maitland-Niles and behind for a corner. But Maitland-Niles wasn't to know that there was nobody around him there. Etienne Capoue has taken over captain duties temporarily from Troy Deeney whilst he serves a suspension. I think he picked that up here at West Ham, against West Ham, I think. The sort of player, Troy Deeney, that is on the edge sometimes. He's a great leader, great player to have on your side, but he can go over that edge as that corner comes into the penalty area. Not really away there by Arsenal, and there was a bit of pushing and shoving going on. Anthony Taylor has signalled the free kick to be retaken. They try to take it quickly, but the referees quite rightly come to the conclusion that the free kick was not taken on the correct spot. There was a handball by one of the Watford lads inside that crowded penalty area. It might have been, I'm thinking it might have been the Cora actually. And it wasn't a deliberate handball by any means. It's just a normal bog-standard handball, and that's how it finished. And it finished 3-1 at Bournemouth today. 3-1. Bad defeat there for Marco Silva, and that's a shot in the arm for Bournemouth there. His home form hasn't been the best, but that's really got the Fortress vitality back on side there, and that'll please the Bournemouth fans, that with a resounding win over one of a team I really fancy strongly to get into that top 6 if they can get their season going better. But they've been beaten here today, been beaten down in the South Coast, 3-1 at Bournemouth. Eddie Howe's men's just starting to play a little, getting together a little bit. Arsenal in possession at the moment, not going anywhere too fast because Jack is on the ball and he's just checking back and playing the ball back to David Luiz. Yesterday, great victory for Norwich, 3-2 winners over Manchester City, who fall 5 points behind Liverpool. At lunchtime yesterday, beat Newcastle United 3-1. Here come Arsenal now with Cabellos, and he can't get his right foot across from the left hand side was well cut out. Now Luiz starts tries to launch another attack through the centre. Guendouzi takes it inside the centre circle, inside the Watford half. Now drifts out to the right-hand channel. Plays the ball back in field to Ozil. Ozil trying to come away from a couple of cul-de-sacs, but then loses it to Delafeu. And he's got the tricks, this kid. Oh, and the ball just a little bit behind Will Hughes there. The idea was intentionally good and potentially good. The execution just wasn't there really in terms of the way he tried to pass the ball there, and in the end it turned out to be a bad pass. But anyway, here comes Delafeu running at these markers. Back inside once again, Decore. Now then, Hughes on the far side. The right hand side as we look. Looking out from the far side we are. And the ball knocked back now to Firmino. Again, patient build-up from Watford. Quique Sanchez-Flores will be delighted with this first half. Maitland-Niles from the cross, nodding it back to the goalkeeper. And with nearly 19 minutes of the first half gone, it's Watford 0, Arsenal 0. But here comes Olibas nicking the ball away. Arsenal just guilty of being a bit too casual, perhaps in possession at crucial moments in crucial areas of the field. Pepe thinks he's fouled. Referee decides he wasn't, and the game plays on to Pepe's annoyance, shall we say. And here's Will Hughes now down the right-hand side. Hughes now looking to cut inside. He's being tracked there by Cabellos, who really changed the game in that match against Burnley, you may remember, 3 or 4 weeks ago. Ball played into the edge of the area, but again, well defended there by the Arsenal defence. Not often you say that about an Arsenal defence. And here's Guendouzi getting the ball forward, and he's got Nicolas Pepe away on the right. It's Pepe. It's 3 against 3 here for a second. It's Pepe leading the charge for Arsenal. Pepe with the shot, and it's just gone wide of the left-hand post. His left-footed drive from just, shy of 25 yards out. Just goes wide of the left-hand upright. Did it deflect? That will be the question. Hard to tell in the sun. It didn't deflect. Looking at it on a rerun, but it's a goal kick to Watford. 20 minutes gone, and I think it won't be 0-0 for long. I don't think, because both teams will, you know what you get with Arsenal a lot of the time. They will create chances, home or away, and Watford have created 3 or 4 really good opportunities as well. So it's goalless at the moment, but I wouldn't expect it to be like that at the end of 90 minutes. And so far, we've had no goalless games so far. And here's Pepe down the right-hand channel. Pepe now cuts inside the penalty area, and it was a poor ball in the end from Pepe. Had the promise, but lacked the end product. And Watford get possession. The boy, did they look good in possession? And Capuin's midway inside his own half. Gets it out towards the right-hand channel. It's a really good open field to this game. Will Hughes now on halfway, right-hand side, hugging that right-hand channel, cuts in field a little bit, goes down. Referee says that's a fair tackle, and away go Arsenal now on the counter-attack. Kanashniak playing it into the penalty area. Shot comes in, it's in. It's against the run of the play. It's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the turn. Right-footed shot. Ben Foster, it goes right through him. And Arsenal take the lead, and there'll be uproar and controversy there. Quique Sanchez-Flores thinks there might have been a foul on Will Hughes in the build-up to that goal. The referee didn't blow it. Will VAR check it? They check everything apparently, and the referee is having words with Will Hughes, or Will Hughes is having words with him. Now, was there a foul there? Well, I can't tell from the first angle. Kanashniak does win the ball. Aubameyang, then the second question, is he onside? Yes, is the call. Takes it, controls it, swivels, hits it on the right foot, and it goes past the keeper and through the keeper and into the back of the net. And it's Arsenal 1-0 ahead. I think the goal will stand. I think VAR are quite happy with the challenge on Will Hughes. And it looks as if, no, he gets a bit of the ball. I don't think Watford have a case there looking at that replay. Cabellos gets the ball. I think that's the correct decision. Well refereed. Anthony Taylor, it's his 4th goal of the season in the league. Aubameyang, and it's a perfectly fair goal. 21 minutes gone. 22 minutes gone. And it's Watford 0, Arsenal 1. And that's a body blow to Watford, who started the game so well. But Arsenal have just come back into it in the last sort of 5 or 10 minutes. 5 minutes or so. And now have got their dominance now to show for it. Aubameyang, edge of the area. Gets it out to the far side. Now, at least we're not guaranteed another goalless game here on the JB Claret. We're not guaranteed a goalless game for the first time yet on the JB Clark YouTube channel. All the live matches and all the full length games we've brought you live and delayed have all had goals in them, one way or another. We don't do goals games live, we don't do goals commentaries on this YouTube channel, do we? But it's 1-0 to Arsenal. And that's a famous old line from years gone by, isn't it? 1-0 to the Arsenal. Here's Cabellos. It's nicely timed tackle and well used. Led to the first Arsenal goal. Konashniak now on the left-hand side. Another decent looking cross. And there was a player flying in inside the 6-yard area. Halfway through the first half, Aubameyang was there. Shaven shaped head, side of the heads with shapes on them, and then a big mop of hair on top. Almost in there for his second goal there of the day. Would have been 5 there if he'd gone on the end of that low cross from Konashniak, and that would have put Arsenal in pole position then to maybe go on and really take the game away from Watford. But Watford still very much in this game at 1-0. If you join us late, Aubameyang after 21 minutes has scored for Arsenal. Watford claimed there was a foul on Hughes in the build-up, but replays have quite conclusively proved that Cabellos, in making that tackle on Hughes, got the ball first. So the referee was quite right to not give a foul there for Watford and play on, and Arsenal took full advantage of that, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang duly converted on the edge of the area, just inside the box, controlled it with his left foot, shot with his right foot and into the net for 1-0. As earlier today, Bournemouth 3, Everton 1. Bad defeat that for Everton. England in the Test match, it's 202 for 6. Australia needing 197 to win in the Test match. The final Test match as Ozil placed the ball across, and Aubameyang was inside the 6-yard area, and he just couldn't tap the ball into the back of the net. A lovely crossing from the right-hand channel by Mesut Ozil. And Arsenal now playing with a real swagger and a real conviction about them, and almost getting number 2 there. Lovely cross. Might have just deflected there. They all went for it there, the defenders and attackers alike, but he's been brilliant. 45 goals, Premier League goal involvement since his debut in 2018, and Salah has only done that in that length of time. So it just shows how good he's been this season, or in his Arsenal career, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Saw him in the flesh at Turf Moor, and I never knew how quick he actually was in terms of pace. I knew he was pacey, as that cross from Maitland-Niles was poor, and it's out of play for a goal kick. Right hand side cross, it was poor. Goal kick, as I say, to Watford. 26 minutes almost gone. It's Watford 0, Arsenal 1. But watching Aubameyang at the end of the last season, when Arsenal won 3-1 at Turf Moor to finish the season with a real flourish for them, Premier League wise, was quite special. I never knew how good he was over 100, over how fast he was. Just looking at one of the hierarchy there, one of the Pozzo family sat in the director's boxes. The Elton John stand is opposite us, as Watford go in search of an equaliser through Tom Cleverley, but he loses possession this time, the former Manchester United man, and now Arsenal win possession once again. And Aubameyang and Pepe holding it up well, and that's a nice ball out to the right hand side, and Mesut Ozil takes it up and he finds Nicolas Pepe, right hand channel. This is wonderful football from Arsenal now. Pepe back to Guendouzi, and they're easing their way into things here. Ozil now, the German international, really good player. When he wants to turn it on, he's one of the world's best, but he hasn't really shown it enough for me over the last 18 months. In my opinion, in an Arsenal shirt, but he's having one of the better days so far today. As Pepe now plays the ball in field. Maitland-Niles a little bit casual in losing that ball. Finds Gray, who then finds Deulofeu, and then uncharacteristically loses possession. And here's Xhaka now for Arsenal in the red and white shirts, attacking the goal to our right. 1-0 ahead. Aubameyang after 21 minutes, if you've joined us late. As Maitland-Niles grabs possession now for Arsenal, and Arsenal looking to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Guendouzi bursting down the right hand channel. His cross was a bit tame, and it deflected a couple of times and round Ben Foster's arms, no problem. He throws it out, and Watford are on the break again with Firmino looking to get the ball over to the far side there, and Gray wants a free kick, but he's not going to get one, and David Luiz has possession now for Arsenal. 28 minutes precisely now gone, 28 gone. It's Arsenal 1, Watford 0 at Vicarage Road, or Watford 0, sorry, Arsenal 1. Let's get it into perspective. The goal after 21 minutes by Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and the long ball forward towards Aubameyang, aforementioned, towards the right of the penalty area, is too long, and it trickles out of play by the near corner quadrant and behind for a goal kick. Well, it was a shaky start for Unai Emery, there's no doubt about that, but his side have done really well, and Troy Deeney there out because of suspension, picked up against West Ham, I believe. Well, he'll be sitting there thinking he's there with a nice cup of PG tips there, drinking away and thinking, you know, I'd love to be out there battling away, and instead he's sat in the stands. And sometimes his eagerness and his commitment to the cause, it can never be questioned, Troy Deeney, but sometimes he does occasionally go over that fine line of competitiveness and utter stupidity, and he was certainly not against West Ham. And now Arsenal have gifted possession away. There was a slip in midfield, might have been Xhaka who gave the ball away, and now Cleverly wins possession. Back to Cleverly this time, and now Decore running at markers, and here's Olibas on the near side. Gets a good little cross in there, and it was headed half away by Luiz, and Arsenal should, through Cabellos, get it away no problem, although he made a little bit of a mere clearing that. He got a lucky deflection of a Watford player, and it's fallen very nicely for Herzog, who gets Pepe in, the ball just behind Pepe, but he's kept control to his eternal credit. And now Guendouzi has possession on the right hand side for Arsenal. 3-1 earlier today between Bournemouth and Everton, as Arsenal come forward again. Here's Maitland-Niles into the penalty area, just trying to take on one Watford player too many. And all Arsenal get for that little bit of enterprise is a throw-in almost level with the penalty area of Watford. And we'll just keep you in constant check. If you join us late and you want to know the cricket score, Australia are 211 for 6 in their second innings. They need another 188 to win. I think that looks unlikely. They already got the Ashes, but it looks as if it's going to be the series drawn at 2 apiece. But Australia, having come into it as Ashes holders under the rules of the competition of that particular series, will still take the urn down under. But England playing magnificently at the Oval at the moment in that final test, and it's a more probable outcome. They're going to be 4 more wickets to fall, and I think England may well take that extra half hour at the Oval to finish off what's been a remarkable summer of cricket in this country. The World Cup final, going to that Super Oval which England won against New Zealand in the most dramatic set of circumstances you could possibly want in a cricket game. I've seen seen well over hundreds of cricket games on television, and nothing's gripped me just as much as that did in that July afternoon. Here's the Maitland-Niles into the 6-yard area, and in for an easy tap in. Here's Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to make it 2-0 to Arsenal. Crossing from the right hand side, it was just too good for the Watford defence. Foster was in 2 minds whether to stick or twist or come out and gather or stay on the line. In fact, he did either of that, and might be an offside there against Maitland-Niles. Might be on the first phase of play. Will VAR check that? I'm not sure, but they check everything. But it's a good finish though by Aubameyang. We'll get confirmation whether that is a second goal for Arsenal or not. But what's not in doubt is the finish from 6 yards, and if it is going to be given, which I think it is, then it's his 5th goal of the season. 2-0 to Arsenal, and I think it has been awarded. So the goal is given, and it's his 2nd today, 5th in all in the league this season. He's started the season very much in form. 5 goals this season. Started today on 3. Now he's got 2 in just around half an hour here at Vicarage Road. Watford 0, Arsenal 2. Aubameyang with both goals. 33 minutes almost gone, in fact. So just over half an hour he's needed to get 2 more goals to add to his tally. Arsenal playing with some great stuff after a nervous first 10, maybe 12 minutes. But they grew into the game after that and have really taken control of this match now, Arsenal. Watford, after their nice start, falling away a little bit, and at the moment they could end up finishing the evening in a very, very big trouble here. Only 1 point. Oh, that's a good challenge there by Decore, sliding challenge to stop the ball going through, because Ozil might have been in there for number 3 there for Arsenal. Now Arsenal have got to try and defend here as Watford try to break out here with Firmino. The FA Cup finalists from last year in a bit of bother here. 2-0 down at home to Arsenal, but they've won a free kick just on halfway on the right hand side. And now it's a test of this man's ability now. Quique Sanchez-Flores. Club a little bit changed from when he was last there. Several new faces from when he was the manager. Here's number 7 here, Delafeo. Good boy. Lovely 1-2. Plays it in there. The flag has stayed down. It's cleverly now. Fast near side, left hand side, ball into the penalty area. Looking for Hughes. And he was well headed away by Arsenal. There was no claims for a possible penalty. Not that I can see. The challenge was fair. And Decore has it now for Watford. And he finds finds Capoue. Now then, chance for the cross into the penalty area from the right hand side, and it was well used, following in just to the right of the 6-yard area with his right foot, which knocks it wide of the right hand post. And Watford miss another good opportunity there. Maybe half a chance there for Will Hughes, no more than that. And it's wide of the target, and the goal kick is given to Arsenal, who at the moment, their little short 10-mile trip to Hertfordshire is bearing fruit at the moment. Watford 0, Arsenal 2, coming up towards 35 minutes of the first half played. And at the moment it's 2-0. Oh, but Arsenal have got themselves a little bit of a tangle here. And inside the area comes Delafeo, is saved. And then it's into the side netting from Andre Gray. Oh, Arsenal very lucky. David Luiz, or Guendouzi, sorry. It's Guendouzi's fault here, not David Luiz. They're both similar players. Look at that. They get themselves in a bit of a twist. Right footed shot from Delafeo, well said. And then the rebound to the right of the 6-yard box from Gray. Right footed into the side netting. Oh, and it just shows that if you don't take your chances, invariably you don't score, and invariably you don't get the points on the board. And Watford have had 4, maybe 5 clear-cut opportunities today, and for one reason or another they've just not gone in. The play has been positive enough from them, and they're doing enough to, certainly in performance terms, to show that they will possibly get out of the situation they're in at the moment. As Delafeo now has possession on the left hand side, they need to still play with that positivity. They're 2-0 down, going inside the last 9 minutes of the first half plus any injury time. Don't forget, you can comment on today's match and on all of you, and comment on and debate all yesterday's matches in the comment section there. It's there for your use. As Holebas now plays it in field. Watford 0, Arsenal 2. 36 minutes gone. We're inside the last 9 minutes, maybe less than that actually. Judging by that, remember England need 4 more wickets to win the test match and draw the series 2-2. And that is the situation at the moment. And Arsenal at the moment having a very good afternoon down in we're down here in Hertfordshire. They've gone a little bit up north. And here's Watford now on the attack, and it was Firmino starting another attack going. They started to pick up the pace a little bit more now, Watford, as we go into the latter stages of the first half, the closing stages of the first half. Live here on the JB Clark YouTube channel, the game coming to you live. Back in Premier League action after an international break, which saw us have some remarkable England games. Here's Will Hughes on the right hand side. Cross was a good one, but it was turned away by Socrates, the Greek. and the ball almost getting in behind. We've got some Champions League commentary as well, Europa League commentary. We've got Aston Villa against West Ham tomorrow on the Monday night. As the ball comes into the penalty area, turned away by daylayed. It's a throw-in on the far side only. So perilously close to being a corner there as the cross came in from the far side, the right-hand side of Watford. 38 gone. Watford 0, Arsenal 2. Live on the JB Claret YouTube channel. We'll keep you constantly in touch with the events at the Oval. England needing 4 wickets to win that 5th and final test. And that's what is the score. The score currently at the moment, after 63.1 overs, as Watford yield another corner, is 221 for 6. Australia needing an improbable 178 to win. England will need just 4 wickets to win that final test. Cummins not out 2. Wade needing 4 for his century. As the ball comes in to the penalty area from the far side, it was not a particularly good corner there by Gerard Deulofeu, and Herzog can get it away easily and yields Arsenal a throw in and a little bit of breathing space. Or is it? No, it's gone the other way. It's gone for Watford. So we're just into the final 6 minutes of a really open first half here at Vicarage Road. As Hollybass now, this Sunday tea time, gets the ball back, and it's number 27 Cabazelli, to get the ball away, but now he's lost possession. And Aubameyang now for Watford at swing stand. Watford will played 5, lost 4, drawn 1. Not a good start. Defeats here to Brighton, Everton and West Ham here, but they picked up a point in their last match, which was 1 apiece. But at the moment it's not looking good for Quique Sanchez Flores in his first match back in charge of the Hornets. 5th season back in the Premier League. As the long ball forward to Merzel is out of play. It's a lovely setting here at Vicarage Road. It's a nice compact little ground, and it's, it was the main stand was a bit of a dump before it was knocked down and rebuilt. And you look at the Sir Elton John stand. We're sitting in the Graham Taylor stand after the former Watford manager who died over a couple of years ago. So sad, his death. I think he was just around in his late 60s, I think, when he passed away, Graham Taylor. Of course, people overlook his achievements here at Watford. He got them from the 4th to the 1st in the space of about 5 years, and kept them there for most of the 1980s before moving on and doing the same sort of job at Aston Villa and getting them established and almost winning the league title in 1990. Then he had that ill-fated 4 years with England where he couldn't do anything right. Press were always on his back all the time. They were murdering him. There were a few selections that could be questionable at times, but ultimately he wasn't the worst England manager you've seen in the world. It's just the press branded him unfairly, I reckon, a failure, and then he came back to Watford and got them back into the Premier League again 20 years ago this year. 1-2-0 at Wembley against a very highly fancied Bolton Wanderers side. And Bolton have now been saved, but they took a bit of a beating at Rotherham yesterday, a game that Russ Vernon, funnily enough, was covering for local radio. Anyway, back to matters here in the 21st century in 2019. Here's Decore now, playing it out to the far side. They need something to happen here in the last few minutes here, last 3 minutes I should say here, Watford. Can they force something here? Hughes goes down, that's a foul surely. Konashniak and Watford have got themselves another set piece. Well Hughes there. Konashniak is going to be booked, and he doesn't agree with the decision, but I think it's the correct decision. Gets away there from Cabellos there, Hughes, and there's no doubt at all he's well late with the tackle. The ball had gone a good couple of seconds before he slid in there, Konashniak, and I don't think he's got any cause for complaint there. I think Anthony Taylor was correct. First to give the free kick to Watford on the right hand side, almost level with the edge of the 6-yard area in terms in terms of where it is positioned outside the box, and secondly to book Konaczniak for his action. So it's Delafeo and Firmino, I think, the two men committee over on that right hand side. The far side, as we look, 2 minutes plus stoppage time to play, and then we'll take a 10-minute break as we always do, and then when it's just me on the duty, and then we'll be back with full second half commentary and updates, of course, on day 4 of the final Ashes test at the Kia Oval. It's going to be left to Firmino to cross into the penalty area, and it's straight in the arms of Leno from the right hand channel. Not a very good free kick there from the Watford right back, and Arsenal survive again. 2 goals ahead, 2 goals after 21 and 32 minutes from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his 4th and 5th goals of the season, giving Arsenal a very commanding 2-goal advantage here live here at Vicarage Road, live here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Full audio commentary of this Premier League encounter, and Watford are not close enough to doing Norwich at the moment, but are playing positively enough to show that they don't lack any spirit at all. It's just the way that the game has gone from a defensive point of view that will be annoying Quique Sanchez-Flores at the moment, the manager. As I say, first game back in charge for his second spell. Sacked here 3 years ago after a 13th place finish, which actually for a first season back at the time for Watford was a reasonable achievement. It wasn't enough to please the Pozzo family, the club's Italian owners, and dispense with their services, I thought at the time, rather harshly. Anyway, here goes Delafeo towards the edge of the area. He's running through. It's Gerard Delafeo. Is he taking it too far? He has. He's running to the cameraman behind that goal. He tried to do far too much, but he didn't really have too much support, in fairness to him. But he gets the ball there. Good flick on by Gray. And look at this. Runs at the Arsenal defence, but to be fair, David Luiz sold him down a blind alley, if you like, and really he ended up running into the cameraman, trying to even test the goalkeeper. Anyway, we're into 1 minute of stoppage time, for which we've had 23 seconds of that minute, and it's not been too much really in the way of stoppages. It's been quite an open, free sort of game. The earlier games, Huddersfield Town 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. So a bad result for Danny Cowley in his first game, but Gary Monk in his first game as well also, as we got a little bit of handbags here involving Nicolas Pepe, and it's all kicked off here, I'm afraid, at the end of the first half. Guendouzi involved as well, Holebas involved too. It's all getting a little bit feisty down there, and Anthony Taylor may have some sorting out to do here right at the last knock-ins at the end of the first half. Just frustrations boiling over a little bit there. Holebas, and I think it might have been Pepe involved. I'm assuming it was Pepe. I had my eyes on Russ Vernon's comment there right at the end of the first half. I think the referee has blown. Has he blown for half time? We're still going on at the end of it. So we're playing time added on at the end of time added on in all that. The yellow card has come out for Holebas. I think Guendouzi's been going to be called over for his part in things. I'd like to look at the replay to sort this one out and see who the real perpetrators were. But Taylor's picked up 2, and that's Holebas and Guendouzi. So Holebas is going to get himself the first of the yellow cards, and I think Guendouzi is going to get the second. He's going to get the yellow card as well. So Guendouzi's been confirmed as a booking, and Holebas is still talking out of turn to the referee. And if he keeps having plenty more dues at the referee, then I think the referee might have to send him off there. So Matteo Guendouzi is the first of the 2 players confirmed. It was a kick out by Pepe. Now, why wasn't Pepe booked? Because he seemed to instigate the whole incident, and Anthony Taylor failed to spot that. I think Nicolas Pepe is a very lucky man here. Look at that. You don't kick out at someone well, he got away with it there, Nicolas Pepe. I think Anthony Taylor's missed that one, I'm afraid. The real perpetrator has not been booked. As the half-time whistle goes, we played a minute and a bit over the 2 minutes, and there's still players Holebas is Still needs to be calmed down. If he's not careful, he will get the red card, because he's already been booked. And if he speaks more out of turn to Anthony Taylor, then I think Anthony Taylor will be left with no choice but to send him off. And it's all kicking off here. I wanted to do my half-time wrap-up, but at the moment, the way Hollybass is talking, we might have to stay with this, because Hollybass might even talk himself into being sent off here. Guendouzi is calmed down and is walking off the field, quite civilised enough. David Luiz there too. Well, amongst all that, I think everything's calmed down now, I can pleased to say. But I can tell you that it's been apart from that little bit of frustration at the end of the first half from there, but I think the referee did miss an incident there, and the perpetrator, the man who kicked it all off, Nicolas Pepe, well, he should have been in the book as well. But you know, there we go. If the referee doesn't see it, the referee doesn't see it. But I thought it was poor. Anyway, let me wrap up half time wrap up the first half before we take a break. Well, it's Arsenal 2, Watford 0. That's the half-time score. That we can tell you. Watford were very good in the first 15 minutes. Delafeu cleverly with the best of the chances, but then Arsenal, after 21 minutes, took the lead, probably against the run of the play, but they were starting to grow into the game at that time. A good challenge by Cabellos, and then it was carried on by Kolasinac. He cut inside and just inside the area. A good swivel turn, shot with the right foot from Aubameyang, 1-0, and then after 32. Crossing from the right-hand side again by Mesut Ozil, who's having a decent match for Arsenal today. Nice ball into the 6-yard area, completely undefendable, and in came Mr. Aubameyang to get his second of the day, his 5th goal in all in the Premier League this season. Watford again forced more chances. Will Hughes had another great chance towards the end of the first half, but they just haven't let the cut. They've not played badly, Watford, but just don't have the cutting edge or a finisher of Aubameyang standards that they could call upon at the moment. But we were talking about the Championship as well. Huddersfield Town, Danny Cowley's just taking charge there at the John Smith Stadium. Him and Nicky Cowley, well, they've got a baptism of fire because Huddersfield lose again. They stay rooted in that Championship bottom 3. Sheffield Wednesday winning that Yorkshire derby 2-0. So Gary Monk, who's just taken charge at Hillsborough, gets his first victory there. Well done to him, but a big job for the Cowley brothers to do at the John Smith's Stadium. Well, that's it for the first half. We're going to take a 10-minute break. And before we do that, take that 10-minute break, a quick update in the Ashes. England still needing 4 wickets to win. Australia currently stand at 223 for 6 in their second innings. England, having batted first, they made 294 in their first innings. Then Australia made 225 in their first innings. England all out for 329. They set Australia 399 to win, and they currently stand at 223 for 6. Australia need an improbable 176 to win the Test match and go 3-1 up and win the series 3-1. By the way, they've already retained the Ashes, but England more probably needing 4 wickets to take. So that's the situation in the cricket. Bournemouth beating Everton 3-1 in the football in the Premier League, and here at Vicarage Road, as we're going to take a short break here, it's Arsenal winning at Watford by 2-0. We're going to take 10 minutes. Join us well in time for the second half and both second half commentary and Ashes updates. Until then, enjoy your break, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back to the to Vicarage Road for the start of the second half. We're just waiting for the teams to come up, but we've got some news, shocking news coming in from Oakwell from earlier today. Barnsley against Leeds. I've just had this in from the Daily Mirror app, and they've just I've been reliably informed that police were caught to deal with the trouble which occurred when Leeds played Barnsley today. This is what happened. Football fans were left blooded. A shocking violence marred Barnsley clash with Leeds on Sunday. The trouble broke out in the stadium at Oakwell when Leeds took the lead through Arsenal's lonely Eddie Nikita in the 84th minute. Celebrations spilled over in some parts of the ground, and sadly it resulted in clashes with the local police officers. Punches have been alleged to be thrown at Barnsley stewards, and Leeds at the moment we're waiting for a statement on them on the trouble. The trouble continued as the game played towards the end, and Leeds grabbed a second goal from a penalty to secure a 2-0 win. So worrying scenes there, and also one fan is alleged to have run round the perimeter of the pitch to the away end to threaten home fans, but he was hauled away by police officers. South Yorkshire police have been contacted regarding the incident, and Marco Belli said, the coach of Leeds says, "I feel pity that something like that has happened, but I didn't see it." It is unclear what started the violence, but it is suggested that some Leeds fans were in the home end of the stadium. So there we go. But a 2-0 win. Klitsch and Nikita, the scorers, were back out for the second half. We had a bit of a kick-off incident at the end of the bit of a flashpoint at the end involving Nicolas Pepe, who quite wrongly was not booked. He wasn't booked, and I thought that was the wrong decision. But trouble at Leeds when they won 2-0. But we're back underway here at Vicarage Road. We'll keep you up to date with the Ashes. So let's check that Watford team again. Watford, so it's Foster, Olivas, Casabelli, Dawson, Firmina, Cleverly, Capu, Decore, Delafeo, and Andre Gray and Will Hughes. So unchanged from the first half. Arsenal's lined up Leno, Konashniak, Louise, Socrates as we just break off for a second because we got Firmino with a good run. It was well cut out. So Socrates, Louise, Konashniak, Xhaka, Guendouzi, Cabellos, Ozil, Aubameyang and Pepe. So as I said, we'll recheck that Arsenal team again because we had an attack going there. Watford attacking the goal to our right, incidentally, in the second half, and Andre Gur's got inside the area after a loose ball there. Might have been Guendouzi actually giving the ball away there, and in the end, Arsenal bailing them, the rest of the Arsenal team bailing them out. So it's Leno, Konashniak, Luiz, Socrates, Maitland-Niles, Xhaka, Guendouzi, Cabellos, and it is the same team. As Hughes shoots from the edge of the area with his left foot, and he bangs his hand on the turf in complete frustration there. But Arsenal getting away with one or two errors here. What was Guendouzi playing at there? Played it in towards Andre Gray, couldn't control it, and it saved it. And in the end, Xhaka saved him in the end. If I was Leno now, I'd be wanting to just hoof it away. In fact, David Luiz has done that for him straight away and kicks it 3/4 of the way up the field from the short goal kick. Comes to Cabellos now. 2-0 to Arsenal, but it has been an absolute. It has not been the whole story. It doesn't reflect the whole story. Watford have really given themselves something to work on here. Now, if they can get a goal early in the second half, as the cross comes in from the left-hand side from Granit Xhaka, it's turned away by Craig Dawson, one of their summer signings from West Bromwich Albion, and that's a poor ball from Andre Gray. Boys, he come up the boil since leaving Burnley. He wanted a better lifestyle. He wanted to move to London. Maybe the move wasn't quite there for him. Not that this Burnley fan is bitter because we don't miss him a lot these days. Not when Ashley Barnes is banging in the goals. We've had just over 3 minutes of the second half gone. It's just been so hectic, Russ, with everything that's gone on elsewhere, and then we had a couple of chances at the start of the second half. We've had the flashpoint to report on. We've had the trouble at Barnsley as well. It's been a very busy day in the sporting world, but we're coming up towards 3 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Watford 0, Arsenal 2. In the cricket, just to update you with that, we'll update you on that because something significant has happened in the cricket. We'll bring you up to date with that. It's not an English wicket, but it's a centurion for Australia. But here's Pepe to Guendouzi. Guendouzi now back. It's still 2-0 Arsenal. 3.5 minutes into the second half here at Vicarage Road. And it's Granit Xhaka now for Arsenal, finding Kolasinac. 2-0. Both goals from Aubameyang after 21 and 32 minutes respectively. There was that flashpoint at the end, which was caused by Nicolas Pepe, who wasn't spotted committing his ridiculously bad crime by Anthony Taylor. If he had seen him, I think he would have gone in at least in the referee's notebook. Anyway, here's Mesut Ozil now for Arsenal. On the far side, cuts past Etienne Capoue, the former Spurs player. Now Xhaka, and there's the shot. It was a very audacious attempt there by Granit Xhaka, but it's over the top and behind for a goal kick, left-footed. Must have been at least 35 yards, if that, and would have took a lot for that to go into the back of the net. Right, the cricket. Let me bring you up to date with what's going on. Wade has just made 106 of 144 balls. So Wade has made a century. He's now 107 not out. Cummins is there with him, the fast bowler, on 9. England needing 4 wickets to take. But obviously will retain the Ashes by virtue of the fact that they won it down under a couple of years ago. Meanwhile, here at Vicarage Road, Delafeo has been penalised for a foul, so a 3-kick to Arsenal as we come up towards the 5-minute mark of the second half here at Vicarage Road. Just to remind you, the Man of the Match award is our Man of the Match vote is back with us again this afternoon. The JB MLTM Awards vote is open from the 65th minute. The voting will open for you, and we're there with a bit more news from Barnsley, which I'll read out in just a second or two, because Pepe, who should have been booked in all that shenanigans at the end of the first half, has the possession, gets the crossing from the right, but it's a poor cross by his standards, and it's hooked away once more, and it's out for a throw into Arsenal midway inside their own half on the far side. As I said, 5 minutes gone, Arsenal 2 up. England still need 4 more wickets to take in the test match. I was just saying that, but even if they draw 2-2, Australia do retain the Ashes because of this misthing. If whoever draws the series regains the Ashes anyway, because they won the last series in Australia, so that's how it all comes about. It's very complicated to explain, but that's the gist of it. As Delafeo tries to battle there on the nearby line as he tries to get the ball back across, but it was a good defending there by the Greek Socrates, and it's a goal kick to Arsenal with 6 minutes gone in the second half. I'll just read out what Russ Burnings just said. Barnsley stewards struck a Leeds fan apparently, so Leeds stewards in fact intervened. Right, so apparently, so it's been alleged. I've got to say alleged because I've not seen the incident. Obviously been down here all day and prepping for this game, but there's been a Barnsley steward struck a Leeds fan, and then Leeds stewards have intervened. So that's what's alleged to have happened. Anyway, here's Firmino with a cross, looking towards Gray. The ball comes out to Decore. Now Firmino again, the right back. Tries to get a 1-2 going with... Decore hits the shot on the edge of the area, hits it left-footed. I think that almost went out for a throw-in on the far side. Not that I'm trying to belittle Decore in any way. Right, I haven't read the substitutes yet out, but I would think that one of them will be coming on. They've got, I think they have set up to anything up to 6 or 7 substitutes, and 3 of them could come on at any one time in the Premier League. Just run through the substitutes while they're trying to take the corner on the far side here, Watford. Or is it a throw-in? I think they're wasting a bit of time here, Arsenal, which is not helping things here at the Vicarage Road. Gomez, Yamat, Mariappa, Shalabar, Sarr, Falkiar and Pereira for Watford there. The substitutes, Torreira, Chambers, Nelson, Martinez, Willock, as another shot comes in from Tom Cleverley, right-footed. I think that's gone over the top on a goal kick. So reading the substitutes again for Arsenal: Torreira, Chambers, Nelson, Martinez, Willock, Silva and Saka are the Arsenal changes, and of course the referee, if you have joined us late, is Anthony Taylor from Manchester. Gary Bezic is the far side linesman, Adam Nunn is the near side linesman, and Peter Banks is the fourth official. As the shot comes in from a badly taken goal kick by Tom Cleverley, and it goes into the back of the net. Well, I didn't expect that. We were almost caught out there, and Watford, for Arsenal's stupidity really, are back in this game, and it was Socrates who played the loosest of passes. And cleverly said, take that, fires it past the goalkeeper with his right foot, and all of a sudden it's 2-1. This is what happened. Socrates has possession on the edge of the 6-yard box, gives it straight away to Delafeu, who lays the ball into Cleverly's pass. And the Manchester United man, the former Manchester United man, beats Leno, and Arsenal, through their own stupidity really, why do they insist on playing out from the back when it's been a dangerously stupid tactic to play all the way through, and they've been really playing a dangerous game all afternoon with that. And Watford, to be fair, have caught them out. They almost caught me out as I was reading the subs out. And cleverly scores his first of the season, and Watford all of a sudden here are back in this game. And we could be in for a very good finish to this game. Watford 1, Arsenal 2 here in a real classic here at Vicarage Road. But what was Socrates playing at? That was not a good ball. Anyway, Sarah's come on for Watford whilst all that's got off. Andre Gray has been ridiculously poor today, in my opinion. He's off. He's been so ineffective, it's untrue. But Watford, in theory, have missed the leadership of Troy Deeney, but they're right back in this game now, cleverly now showing some fight in that Watford side. And Delafeu, could they pull off a remarkable comeback? Here's Delafeu now into the area. Delafeu shoots with his right foot, and he's got the taste for it again, the Spaniard today. Former Everton loanee, formerly of Barcelona. Foul on the Arsenal player to Watford's disgust. It's Socrates who's been fouled this time. Oh my goodness me, we've got a game on here, folks. We've had 3 goals, controversy, ridiculous Arsenal defending from a goal kick, of their own making, from their own goal kick. Maybe Unai Emery needs to practice these goal kicks in training, because if I'm Arsenal manager and you've got a 2-goal lead, I would expect my goalkeeper to play out from the back. Ozil's shirt was clearly being tugged by Firmino, so he's going to go into the book. So that's a free kick to Arsenal. 10 minutes of the second half gone. It's Arsenal, Watford 1 now, Arsenal 2, incidentally, if you've joined us late. Cleverly with the Watford goal. 2 goals for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in the first half. And we've got a game on again. What a resounding 56 minutes we've had here. And in the ball given away again, and it's Sard, number 23. Don't know much about him, but if he comes on and he's a hero for Watford and get them back into the game, well, it could be a crucial point. Even if they don't win today and get a point, it's still a good point against a team of Arsenal's undoubted quality, but their defending still leaves a lot to be desired, and there'll be a few moans and groans on Arsenal Fan TV tonight. Here's the substitute star now, up against Socrates and Guendouzi together, and back came Nicholas Pepe, or Maitland-Niles I should say. Easily Maitland-Niles to nick the ball away and find Guendouzi on that near side. Now Xhaka. Arsenal now in a bit of bother here. They were 2 goals up and coasting. Now the lead has been cut to 1. But here's Aubameyang on the left-hand side. Cuts inside. Aubameyang has got Ozil further forward. And Ozil finds Guendouzi. Back to Ozil again inside the Watford half. Midway inside it, in fact. Here's Cabellos. And Cabellos now just goes back again to Xhaka. Xhaka now. What a game we've got here at Vicarage Road. This is just as good as the other ones that preceded it. The games at Norwich especially, and at Wolves yesterday, Liverpool. Real massive games, big games as well. I had plenty of great excitement and great action. We've got another one live for you tomorrow, live audio commentary tomorrow of Aston Villa against West Ham. We'll be on the air about 7:45 on the JB Clark YouTube channel. 8 o'clock kickoff for Aston Villa against West Ham United. Live from Villa Park. It's a shot comes in from Delafeo, right-footed, and just misses the far right-hand post by inches. But Watford have come out a team transformed in the second half. Delafeo cutting in from the left-hand touchline, getting his right-footed shot off, and he just misses the shot by an inch or two there. And that could have been 2 each. Been an exciting first 58 minutes. Now then, I'm going to keep my eye on this. They've gone short again, and this time they've managed to play it out. But how far they've got forward, it's not too far, because they've conceded a throw level midway inside their own half. That's just ridiculous. So they've not really learned any lessons from that. Just hit the ball forward. I would now do that in that position. You've got to hold the lead. Here's Firmino, who's just been booked incidentally for pulling Ozil's shirt on the near side. Watford will feel now they've got a chance to exploit Arsenal here and try and get something from this. Here's Craig Dawson on the ball now for the Hornets in those yellow and dark strip, in their yellow and dark shirts with the red Adidas stripes on the top of the sleeves. Here's Tom Cleverley now, turns away, black shorts with the red trim, of course, and yellow stockings. Here's Decore now for Watford, and then Firmino's in a lot of space on the right hand channel. Firmino with a shot, right footed, and it goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick. They're showing a lot of fight here, Watford. They're not going down without a fight. Good effort that from Firmino, Kiko Firmino. So we're going to see another substitution here. 28 for Arsenal is Joe Willock. And off in his, and he will take the place here. As Willock just stretches out his shirt just to make sure it fits a lot better for him. And got a wave to the crowd from the man who's just coming off. Arsenal fans still seem in very buoyant mood despite the concession. Cabellos is the man who's gone off actually. Waves to the crowd. He's done okay today, Cabellos. Joe Willock, one of the Arsenal youngsters coming through the academy. Again, they've gone short with a goal kick again. This time they've belted it forward this time. They've learnt the lessons from the last couple of times now. An hour gone here in a game that's been incident-packed, shall we say. We've had everything. We've had goals, we've had controversy, we've had a fisticuffs, and we've had poor goal kicks from Arsenal, which has led to Watford being back in this game. In 5 minutes' time, we open the vote for the Man of the Match award. And what a Sunday tea time treat this has been for everyone. Tomorrow we've got a Monday evening treat for you at Villa Park. And then it's Champions League football on the JB Clark YouTube channel as Liverpool begin properly their defence of the European Cup. They won quite easily in Madrid in May. You heard that on the Twitch channel. Anyway, here comes Joe Willock forward for Arsenal. They will play Europa League in midweek as well. They play on Thursday, so their next match will be a week today, Premier League that is. Ganashiak now for Arsenal, winning 2-1 here. And Aubameyang looking for the hat-trick, gets his shot off right-footed from all of 30 yards. But it's easily fielded by Foster, and it was going wide of target as it turned out. And that's the scoreline. There's been another wicket fallen, and it's that of Pat Cummins, caught Burstfield ball broad for 9. So Australia chasing 399 to win, are 246 for 7, and they now need 153 runs to win. 153 wins. See what a that pack game does for you. 61 gone. It's 2-1 to Watford. And it's a really, really good game of football here. And Firmino laying the ball in. Delafeo's cross, and Cleverley was waiting on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Guendouzi having to concede the corner this time. Oh my goodness me. This has been a non-stop Mardi Gras of non-stop attacking thrills. Delafeo has been at the heart of everything that's been good. We're going to see Pereira now on for Will Hughes. So one blonde bombshell replaces another. That's he's got blonde streaks at the top of his head. So one blonde replaced by another, and Pereira now comes on as Flores looks to ram home the advantage for his Watford troops. Corner far side. What can come from it? Into the near post, and it was a dangerous corner. Turned away by Arsenal, but not very far. And here's Decore now, edge of the area. Decore shoots, hits a cross-come shot, but it's gone into the stand behind Reynolds' goal, and it's a goal kick for Arsenal. And we better keep our eyes on this now, because we were almost caught out by one of these ridiculous Arsenal goal kicks, which led to Watford's goal back. Now they can't afford to make any more slip-ups here, Arsenal, with 63 minutes of the game gone. And Leno goes to the centre. We're going to describe this in very great detail. He takes 5 or 6 yards back. Now, will he hit it? Well, he's going to hit it long. Yeah, right-footed, he hits it long. As soon as I'm alert to it, the goal will start going long. They're starting to learn a little bit and how to just close out the game. It's called game management, of course. And here's Firmino. Firmino now gets the ball back, and here's Decore back to Firmino again, still deep inside their own half. Now Pereira gets his first touch on the near side. It's 64 minutes almost gone. It's Watford 1, Arsenal 2 in a real classic here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Full audio commentary of this intriguing Premier League game. Stay with us, folks. This could be a grandstand finish. Here's Cleverley inside the area. Goes back to Delafeu. Has been at the heart of everything that's been brilliant about Watford. So too is Cleverley inside the area, and a shot wide from the substitute. Sarr inside the area. Nice little turn and swivel, almost like Aubameyang's in the first goal in the first half. Turn, swivels, right for the shot, just unlike Aubameyang's effort in the first half, which did hit the target. Just goes wide at the right-hand post, and it's behind for a goal kick, and that would have put Watford right back in the game. Now they've gone. Now he's varying the kicks now, Leno. He's gone out to the far touchline, and there's 3 or 4 Watford players trying to close Arsenal's attempted short goal kicks out. No foul, says the referee. Watford play on. Arsenal player went down, but it was not an illegal challenge. Pereira gives it away now, and Aubameyang just going back deep a little bit now. Gets Arsenal on their way. But another good tackle there by Craig Dawson. Concedes a throw on halfway on the near side to Arsenal. Arsenal winning still 2-1. 65 have been gone. Now the vote for man of the match can begin in earnest. All you've got to do is choose the player that you want to see win man of the match, and then hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM, please. You've got until the 90th minute, as we usually do on this game. If it's level in the voting stakes, then we go, and then I've got to go, and then I've got to make the casting vote for man of the match. And there's plenty of candidates today. Here's one on the ball now on the left-hand side, and that's Delafeu. And the ball played out towards Firmino, and he's got plenty of time to side up across, and they only needed a touch in there. Pereira was in there, so too was Cleverley, and it just needed a positive flick, and that might have been 2-2. Wonderful cross from Firmino, and it was Pereira who tried to turn it goalwards, and Cleverley might have been in a much better position. Having said that, though, it might have took a lot to get it through to him there. Sarr was there too. And we're going to see Torreira now come on for Arsenal. He's going to replace Guendouzi, who's not had his best game by some considerable period today for Arsenal. But that said, he gets a decent round of applause from the Arsenal fans. Mike Hardiman on Facebook. Hello, Mike. One of our colleagues says that's why you don't pass out from the back. He's an Arsenal fan. And he's not very happy about that, but his team are still winning 2-1. We're inside the last 25 minutes. Man of the match is now open for voting. Text all you've got to do is comment and play that you want to see get the JB Man of the Match award, and then hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTN, as we do every week. And that applies also tomorrow night against Villa, and then in Europe during the week as well. Only in finals and special occasion games do we not open the man of the match votes. Here's Pereira, or 3 o'clock games in fact. We don't open the 3 o'clock votes. But at the moment it's a very good performance from Watford, even though they're losing here. Arsenal backs to the wall here. And here's this man again, Delafeu, left hand side, back inside again. Decore now, looking to pick up runners. He's got Cleverley there too. They're playing with real spirit now, Watford. Delafeu shoots, and just wide of the far post as he shot from the left-hand side of the area. He claims a corner, and I think he's got it. It's a corner kick. Master took a deflection as that shot was going through there. And, well, if it had, there was also Sarin by the penalty spot who could have tapped that in as well. He wasn't far away, I tell you. It did take a slight deflection, and it's Watford's 5th corner of the contest. Arsenal have just had the one. Can Watford find an equaliser? It's Jose Holebas to take on the near side. The right-hand side. Watford attacking the goal to our right. Arsenal to the left where their supporters are congregated behind. 68 minutes gone. Watford 1, Arsenal 2. Holebas's corner. Into the penalty area it goes. Towards the far post. Attacked at the far post, but Cabazelli got the header in the end, but it wasn't going to be troubling the scorers or the goalkeeper for that matter. And Arsenal, but a moment anyway, survive. But for how long? If these mess-ups of goal kicks keep or anything to go by, Watford still might have a chance. And they're going again. Leno's now taking... He's going to go long again, I think. Yep, he's gone long. He's gone half the length of the field, but it's headed beautifully away. Back with interest with Pereira. Now Watford winning possession. Arsenal still not really properly clearing the lines. Gifting Watford possession at every conceivable opportunity, it seems to be. Arsenal are on the verge of maybe committing what you would call football suicide. The flag is up for offside there against Sarr, and it will be a free kick to Arsenal. He was at least a yard or two offside as the ball was played there, Sarr. So I think the referee and his assistant there, Adam Nunn, was quite right. And yeah, and funnily enough, the funny thing is they were onside as well. You just can't make this stuff up. This is the goal, by the way. They were onside too. You can't make this stuff up. You know, if you're watching this later on a match of the day too, and you're just listening to the commentary, well, it has to be seen to be believed. I can't tell you that. Torreira now to Ozil. Arsenal still winning though by 2-1. We're into the last 20 minutes of the game. We've had nearly 70 minutes of a pulsating game at the moment. The man in the match vote is still open. We got another 20 minutes before you can before the vote closes. If there's going to be no voting, or it's doubling the voting, then I get the casting vote, and then I have to decide the man in the match award. Aubameyang now with the ball on the left hand side, and it's a throw in for Arsenal deep inside the Watford territory, midway inside the Watford half on the near side. We're going to see a final change. It's going to be number 24, Reece Nelson. He's going to come on now to replace Mesut Ozil. Excuse me. Well, the last 20 minutes, he's had a good... To be fair, Mesut Ozil's been one of the better performers for Arsenal today. A really good assist on the second goal as he played that low crossing from the right-hand channel. It was a wonderful low cross which bisected everybody from Watford, apart from... And then Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had the simplest of tasks, stayed onside and stuck the ball in beautifully to make it 2-0. But Arsenal still very much far from winning this game. They're winning it at the moment, but it's not a convincing lead. 2-1 they lead, but Watford well and truly on top in this second half at this moment in time. We've had well over halfway now in the second half. 71 minutes gone. Man of the match vote from Russ is for Aubameyang. I wouldn't argue with that. Certainly his goals have been top class. Certainly other candidates you could include have obviously been Deulofeu, Tom Cleverley of course for Watford, and of course Ozil as well for his assists on the second goal. That was a magnificent piece of assisting for Aubameyang there, but it's been given away to Arsenal now. They just need a third goal just to take the sting out of this now. Can Nicolas Pepe size up across? The shot comes in. Oh, good effort there from the 24, Reece Nelson on the edge of the area with his right foot, but well fielded though in the centre of his goal by Ben Foster, just diving a shade to his right there, and he picked the ball up fantastically well. But credit to Watford, whatever happens today, they've really played with some spirit and played with some fight, and I think that's what the Watford fans really want to see from their side. If it stays this way, they're still going to be bottom with just 1 point from 5 games, but their spirit and the commitment is definitely there from what I've seen of them today, and I've no doubts if they can just get a bit of luck and maybe just take 1 or 2 of their chances, they'll win a few games and get themselves out of the trouble they're in at the moment. Here's Pereira, plays a 1-2 with Cleverley, back to Decore. They're really playing now with some spirit. Capur out to the far side, and it's that man again, Deulofeu, the Spaniard, signed from Barcelona, spent a little bit of time, of course, at Everton. And here's Firmino. Firmino gets it back to Cleverly. Oh, it just goes behind Cleverly, and by the time he realised the ball had gone too far behind him, it was too late to quell the danger. And here's Wellock now for Arsenal down the left-hand side. He's got Aubameyang in the centre. Pepe's there too on the edge, but Willock is daft, is stupidly given the ball away then when he could have crossed it even high. He tried to take on one player too many, and now Arsenal are on it all of a sudden. From a good attack, they're in defence. And it's 4-on-4 here as Pereira takes it inside the area. Back to Delafeu on the left-hand side. And he gets the shot off, and it's well fielded at the near post. The left-hand post by Leno. And the ball is bowled out very quickly now. Arsenal 2-1 up. Here's Joe Willock now. Reece Nelson, I should say. Let's just check the latest in the cricket. How are England doing in the final Ashes test? We'll just break off for a second. Aubameyang is onside here. Back inside into the penalty area. Chance there, and it couldn't fall for Reece Nelson. Right, the latest score. England, Australia still need 139 to win. England have got 8 wickets. They need another 2. The score at the moment is 260 for 8. Australia in their final innings. England batted first, scored 294. Australia scored 225 in their first innings. Here's the shot, deflected, and it's over the top. Offsides, deflected shot. It came off Louise for a corner. Yeah, England made 294 in their first innings. Then Australia replied with 225. England then went on in their second innings to make 329. And currently Australia chasing 399 to win. Or 260 for 8, but need another 139 if they're going to win. And if England take another 2 wickets, they win the final Ashes test. Regardless of which, though, the Ashes earned will be going down under because, despite the draw, because of the way the Ashes series works, the team that holds it going into it, if it's a drawn series, then it stays in Australia. Here's the corner into the penalty area, and a decent one there from Holivas caused a little bit of confusion for a second or two in that Arsenal defence. But Arsenal again haven't cleared their lines properly. That's been the feature of their defensive play, a bad feature as well. Cross into the penalty area. Oh, and there was 2 or 3 Watford players converging on it, and they just couldn't get the shot off. They really have been unfortunate there, Watford, in that terms. Earlier today, Bournemouth 3, Everton 1 in the other game. 2 goals for Callum Wilson. Barnsley 0, Leeds 2. And the same scoreline at the John Smith Stadium between Huddersfield Town and Sheffield Wednesday. Gary Monk getting his first victory as Sheffield Wednesday gaffer. And against the new man at Huddersfield, Danny Cowley. Him and Nicky Cowley have got a big job on to try and save Huddersfield Town's season, even at this early stage, as a free kick has been given against Cleverly for a foul on David Luiz. And a free kick it is. Watford 1, Arsenal 2. We've now played 76 minutes of the match. 14 minutes left to play. There's a yellow card for Tom Cleverly that's been shown as well in all of that. England needing 2 wickets to win the final Ashes test, although the urn will still go to Australia. At least England will have the pride back by hopefully winning that final Ashes test. I'm sure they're going to take that extra half hour at the Oval. It's not going to be, I think it's going to finish today, the Ashes. In what's been a terrific summer of cricket here in England. The World Cup final and now a terrific Ashes series. It's not going to go England's way this year. The Ashes urn returns to Australia by virtue of the fact they won the last series in Oz and won it so convincingly. But anyway, back in the Premier League in the football, it's Watford 1, Arsenal 2. We'll let you know if there's any wickets fall in the Ashes or Australia are making inroads into those further 139 they need. We'll find out what happens in the test match anyway before, hopefully the test match will be finished just before this game's finished. Anyway, we'll be bringing you Ashes updates for the remainder of the second half here, but so 13 minutes left. So as I say, we'll keep our beady eye on the Ashes at the moment. England, remember, they need 2 more wickets. It's 261 for 8. Australia need 1 more. We need another 138 runs. In the golf, Europe have beaten the USA by 1 point to win the female version of the Ryder Cup, the Solheim Cup. And And of course Tyson Fury won in Las Vegas earlier today, although he did have a badly 2-inch gash on the top of his left eye. Free kick against Watford. They trailed here by 2-1, but have played with real character and real spirit today, and it's been an absolute crackeroonie. Tomorrow we've got more Premier League action as the Monday night. We bring in a Monday night game, and that comes to you from Villa Park in Birmingham as Aston Villa take on West Ham United in the final Premier League match of the weekend. As Richard Keys once said, it's an extension of the football weekend. I think he might be right there. And then Champions League and one thing or another. Here comes Pepe into the penalty area. Probably did too much. There's a shot back in on the follow-up. Parried away by Ben Foster. A bit unorthodox. Right-footed shot coming in there, and it was well saved. Now, Watford have a chance with Decore now on the counter-attack. Wide to the right-hand side, and Pereira will one at his man. Pereira to the edge of the area. Goes down. What's the referee going to give here? He's giving a penalty to Watford. A penalty to Watford. And Watford, with 11 minutes of the second half remaining, have a chance to draw level. And they've deserved it. As Russ asked the question at that stage, it's just inside the box. It was a little bit on the clumsy side by David Luiz, but did Pereira go down too easily? Well, VAR will be checking that, no doubts, but I think that Anthony Taylor's decision will stand, and Pereira has the ball in his hand. Luiz again. 2 penalties conceded in 2 games for Arsenal. Conceded 1 in the North London derby a fortnight ago, and now they've conceded 1 today. But Pereira still has to stick the ball away. And Watford have a chance from 2-0 down to draw level at 2-2, and they've deserved at least a point. They still might get all 3 if they convert this, of course. It's going to be the substitute Pereira, longest run-up, right-footed. And Luiz, he's encroaching, he's inside the penalty area, and he's been told by referee Taylor to get out of the penalty area because they've got to pull him up on encroaching now. And it's Pereira against Leno from 12 yards. Leno must stay on the line before the kick is taken. Referee blows his whistle. Pereira steps up, right-footed, scores into the left-hand corner. It's 2-2. And Watford have deserved it, really. Cool penalty there by Pereira, the substitute. And Watford, in my opinion, get their just desserts. It's Arsenal, it's Watford 2, Arsenal 2. And the good thing about this now, there's still time for Watford to win the game. This is going to be a grandstand finish, folks. What a penalty this was. Leno going the wrong way. In fact, he moved off his line a good yard or 2 before the kick was taken. So his gamesmanship in the end was duly punished by the fact that the ball had gone the opposite way to him. 9 minutes to go. It's Watford 2, Arsenal 2 in a real cracker-jack of a game here. And Kike Sanchez-Flores, he'll be absolutely purring with ecstasy. And Arsenal, well, they'll only have themselves to blame. And Q, and you know what I'm going to say now, folks. Whatever happens, Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown, I tell you. Meltdown. 2-2. Watford have still got, 8 minutes for stoppage time to maybe perhaps win it. Arsenal really teetering on the brink here. Having played so well for a good 35-40 minutes of the game, they're now on the cusp of probably losing it if they're not careful. Really stupidity from the Arsenal defence, which has cost them 2 silly goals, really. And here's number 2 again, and there's a chance now for the cross, and it's turned away. It's Daryl Yamad, I think, who's come on now. Here's Pereira now, back inside. What a game this has been. Here's Pereira now. This has been a remarkable game of football. I don't think I've seen a comeback quite like this for a little while. Daryl Yamad has come on, I think, as well for Watford in amongst the ball. That, I think, he's replaced Firmino. And England have actually clinched that final wicket. I'll give you a rundown on the scorecard at the end of the game before we finish here at Vicarage Road. But the series is drawn 2-2, but Australia take the Ashes by virtue of the fact they won it very convincingly down under a couple of years ago. They won it, I think they won 4-0, I think it was, in the end, in that series down under a couple of years ago. Here's Daryl Yamat, the substitute. Gets the crossing from the right-hand side. Pereira's in there too. Chance inside the area. It might break for Darafel. Darafel shoots! Just wide of the far post and wide of the right-hand post. And oh, that would have been the comeback to make all comebacks. That would have topped what happened at Norwich yesterday. Oh my goodness me. Just when we couldn't get more excitement after the games at Norwich and at Wolves and at Liverpool yesterday, and of course at Bournemouth today, this has certainly gone a long way to topping it. And here's Pereira now. Watford are favourites to win this now if you were a betting man. Just to the right of the D. What a finish to this game. I don't think I've seen a comeback quite like this for a very, very long time. It's almost a comeback of Herculean things. You know, they've learned to come back from the dead before in games. Remember the semi-final back in April when Wolves were seemingly coasting to victory and going through to their first final since FA Cup final since 1960. But then Watford came back from the dead and won 3-2 in extra time. They'd got another 6 minutes to win it, but even if they do end up drawing 2-2, what a game it has been. Anyone who's paid a good 35 quid to watch this one today has certainly got their money's worth in terms of drama and entertainment value and everything else that gone with it today. We don't do goal games on this YouTube channel, do we? 5.5 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Watford, it's remarkably Watford 2, Arsenal 2, but Watford have been the better side, I think, over the piece. And here's Pereira, who's come on magnificently well for Will Hughes, and he's making things happen here for Watford. Edge of the area, but he has to swivel and turn back. Finds Etienne Capoue, the former Spurs player. Now, will Decore have a shot? No, he'll wisely play it out to the far side, and Delafeo. And here will trick, and here will flick, and he'll try and cross, but it's blocked again by Maitland-Niles. But he gets the ball back, and then it comes off the defender and out for a corner. Still looks like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is still winning our Man of the Match award. Here's Decore now into the area, and Watford going for this. Shot from the edge of the area. Oh, he deflected off David Luiz, and over from Tom Cleverley's right-footed shot from the edge of the area. It came off David Luiz, in fact. And, well, I don't know if that was going in or not, but if it was, that would have been some way to perhaps win the game. Quique Sanchez-Flores knows this Arsenal side are there for the taking. 4 and a bit minutes to go, plus time at the dawn for injuries. But what a game this has been. And hopefully tomorrow's game at Villa Park will have to go some to top this. 2-2, corner from the far side. And it's going to be Delafeo to take. What a game this has been. Capoue at the near post. Cabazzelli's in there as well. Cabazzelli, I should say, in there. Pereira in there too, by the 6-yard area. Oh, punched away by Leno. He's come out, and Delafeo, who took the corner originally, has stayed on side and gets the cross back. Still a chance for Yama. Yama, left foot. Oh, he skied it high, wide, and not very handsome into the stand behind Leno's goal and behind for a goal kick. What a game! A real classic we brought you here today on the JB Claret YouTube channel. I'm still waiting for Mike Hardiman's response to it going back to 2-0. Look at that. 9 shots on goal for Watford, 4 to Arsenal. They have been the better team, Watford. I don't think there's any two ways about that. And a free kick to Arsenal now against Cabazzelli. So a free kick given there. So Joe Wilk has won that free kick. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to play. I'm going to need a lie down after this, folks. Watford 2, Arsenal 2. In what's been one of the most amazing Premier League games I think there's been for, well, one of the most amazing Premier League comebacks I think there's ever been. And here come Arsenal again, but the free kick didn't come right good anyway. And here's and another chance goes begging there. And here's Cleverly now for Watford. And this man here on the ball, Delafail. What a finish to this game it has been. This has been one of the most remarkable games of football I think I've seen this season. In terms of a comeback of all proportions. It's been a comeback of all titanic proportions. And here's Reece Nelson now keeping possession. Finds Granit Xhaka now in field. And Joe Willock now has possession. And he finds Nicolas Pepe, who's been so quiet in the second half. Still Pepe on the right hand side. Finds Willock. Joe Willock into the penalty area. Arsenal now trying to win it. Steal it at the end. And the crossman, he can't. Well, he found Xhaka, but he couldn't control it. The Arsenal captain. And behind for a goal kick to Watford. We've got 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go in what's been one of the most remarkable games. England have drawn the series 2-2, but Australia retained the Ashes by virtue of the fact that they've basically won the series anyway, down under. So even if it's a drawn series, Australia still retain the Ashes. 1 minute plus stoppage time left to play. Looks like it's going to be Aubameyang to win man of the match. And what a game it has been. It's been enjoyable, edge of the seat stuff. And it's been a thrill and a joy to cover to you live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. If tomorrow's game and the Champions League games we're going to bring you in midweek are just as good, then you're going to get a real sense of occasion and a real drama here on this channel. We only do dramas on this channel. Good dramas. Who needs Peaky Blinders? 2-2. Watford and Arsenal. Kolasinac gets the ball forward, but he's lost possession. But then Xhaka wins the ball back and he goes past his man. Goes past Capu. Xhaka, oh, that's a poor ball out to the far side. And Watford now come away with the ball. This has been a remarkable second half as Delafail runs down up against Maitland-Niles here. Plays it back again. This has been a terrific game. Now, Decore now shakes up, right-footed shot, deflects away. And it's well charged down by the Arsenal defenders. And now it's Arsenal's turn to go forward. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time, folks. We'll tell you who man of the match is in a second, because Arsenal are going through and it was Reece Nelson leading the charge there for the Gunners. And now Pereira for Watford will bring in the man of the match vote. And the referee is just slowing it down a little bit now. But Watford here have a particularly good chance here to win it. And here's Cleverly now out to the far side. 2-2 it remains in a real thriller minute here at Vicarage Road. The ball back to the edge of the area, and it was Cleverly again. He's been involved in everything so good. And now Watford have blown another opportunity. They've brought down Capu's conceded yellow card, and I can now reveal that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is the JB man of the match. Thanks to Russ Fairland's decisive vote. So Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is our man of the match winner. But at the moment he's not the winner of the game. His team aren't winning the game. They're 2-2. We're at 2-0 here in a real thriller minute. We still has got another 2.5 minutes still to run. And it's Reece Nelson now through the centre. Loses possession here. Cleverly. So it would have been 1-0. I think it was a little bit late there. Anyway, back with the game and the chance for Watford inside the area, and it was this substitute, Sarr from 7 or 8 yards, who had the chance to win it. He hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Free kick to Arsenal on halfway. Whilst all that was going on, this game has been fast moving. So it was 1 vote each for Cleverly and for Aubameyang. I'm going to retract what I was going to say. I have the casting vote. I'm going to give it possibly to Tom Cleverly for the way he's played today. His all-round game. Aubameyang, yeah, great 2-goal blast for him, but he's been virtually nowhere in the second half. Cleverly has throughout the 90, so Tom Cleverly gets the man of the match award as well. So 2-2, and what a game this has been. And still we go on. 90 seconds left to play. Is there one more chance here? What a grandstand finish this is going to be. Here's Pereira for Watford. 2-2. Can Watford nick it at the death? England I'll give you the full scorecard from the Ashes and bring you up to date with what's happened elsewhere before we leave you in around about 6:30 this evening in what's been an absolute classic here at Vicarage Road. Tomorrow we're at Villa Park. It's going to be even Russ Burden or myself commentating. One thing's for certain, I'll be certainly presenting the links regardless of whether I'm commentating or not. Pereira inside the area. Can Watford snatch it now? We're in the final minute of 4 at the end. Here's Capu. Would it be ironic, a former Spurs man scoring against Arsenal? Yamat now down the right-hand channel. Gets a wonderful cross towards the back post. And in fact, a free kick has been given against Cleverley for a bit of pushing and shoving. The man of the match there being fouled. Or fouling his man. And that could be that now. The final 30 seconds of what's been one of the most remarkable games of football I think there's been for quite a long time. And it'll be me in the commentary box at Villa Park tomorrow. Russ will be on Champions League duty on Wednesday night. So the next time you'll hear from Russ Burden will be Wednesday night for one of our Champions League offerings. And we're into the final seconds of the game and there will be no more. And Watford take a bow. What a comeback. They looked dead and out of it at half-time at 2-0 down after that 2-goal blast in the first half from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. But Watford came back. Aubameyang scoring after 21 and 32 minutes respectively. Then Cleverley after 53 after a mistake by the Arsenal defence when trying to clear out from a goal kick. And then Pereira 9 minutes from time, 81 minutes with a coolly taken penalty, which saves them a point. Doesn't lift them off the bottom of the table, but what it does prove that Watford are no whipping boys. They are a team with boundless energy and boundless spirit. And that comeback was a real thriller. And Quique Sanchez-Flores should be proud of his troops today. At 2-0 down, they kept plugging away and plugging away. They never gave in, they never gave up. And in the end, they deserved at least a point, if not all three, for their endeavours and their efforts so far. It's finished here at Vicarage Road in a real classic here in the Premier League. It's finished Watford 2, Arsenal 2. Last thing you earlier today, Bournemouth beat Everton 3-1. A 2-goal blast for Callum Wilson, giving Bournemouth victory in the game. Arsenal now frustrated. Kanasiak throwing down a bottle in disgust. But I tell you what, it won't be as disgusting as what Arsenal Fan TV is going to be tonight. There's going to be some X-rated viewing on that tonight, I can tell you. And Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown after this. Meltdown. But Watford fans should be proud. Arsenal fans will be absolutely furious. And as I say, Arsenal Fan TV will be in meltdown tonight. One of my favourite phrases of commentary I think there is in the book. So 2-2, it's finished here in a real classic here. And it will be remembered here at Vicarage Road. It's the first ever Premier League draw, incidentally, between the two clubs. A very good point for Watford, but a bad point for Arsenal, who had the game in their grasp at half-time and then contrived to throw it away. And let's see, here we go. Mike Harniman. Sorry, Mike, I've got to tell you, I'm going to read this out here. Catalyst of our own downfall again. Utter rubbish. I'm not going to say that last word. I've translated it there. But there we go. Absolutely deserved point there for Watford. Remember where we at Villa Park for an 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night. I'll be the man, and I'll be our fox in the box in Birmingham tomorrow night, so I'll be making a little trip up the M40 to Birmingham for that game there. And well, you know, that was a great comeback. So let me just bring you the scores from earlier today then. As I said, Bournemouth beating Everton by 3-1. Let me tell you who got the goals. Callum Wilson, as I said, hit 2. So Wilson got the first one after 23 minutes. Calvert-Lewin equalising after 44. And then Fraser putting Bournemouth ahead after 67 minutes. And then 18 minutes from the end, Wilson with his second goal. and Eddie Howe said that was a huge moment in their season. They did lose their last 2 games. Ryan Fraser, the substitute, made it 2-1, and then Wilson making it 3 with his second of the game. Elsewhere in the Ashes, England have beaten Australia. They draw the series 2-2, but unfortunately it will be Australia still taking the end down under, but at least we've ended the summer with a bit more spirit. But we still haven't come away with empty-handed from the summer here in England. We've taken the World Cup, and that is still a nice little prize for the summer as well, after that Champagne Super over back in July. So let me tell you the scorecard for that final innings. England in that first innings, 294 all out. Australia replied with 225. And England in their second innings made 329. They set Australia a very, very tall 399 runs to win, and they couldn't pull it off, unfortunately. They were all out for 263. England winning the final test match by 135 runs. A nice little way for England, despite losing the Ashes. Nice way for England to end the summer. So let's have a look at the scorecard in the second innings. Harris was bowled by Broad for just 9. David Warner caught behind by Rory Burns off the bowling of Broad for 11. Labuschagne was beautifully stumped by Johnny Bairstow, beautifully bowled as well by the spinner Jack Leach for 14. He's been a real find for England this summer. Steve Smith gone cheaply for once. 23 he made in his final test match innings of the summer. Caught behind by Ben Stokes, again Broad, so that was his 3rd wicket at the time. And then Joe Root raided in, getting the prize wicket of Wade for 117. Stumped again by Johnny Bairstow. That's 2 stumpings he's had this afternoon. Mitchell Marsh was caught by Just Butler off the bowling of Joe Root, so two wickets for Joe Root there. Nice little battle for the England captain there to win. Payne was bowled, was LBW to Leach with 21, so he claimed his 2nd wicket at the time. Broad then got his 4th wicket by dismissing Cummins. Back Cummins for 9, caught behind by Bairstow. Siddle was the man not out on 13. Nathan Lyon was bowled by Leach. That was his 3rd wicket, caught by Root, and the same 2 got Hazelwood out for a duck. So Leach and Broad finished with 4 wickets, and Joe Root with 2 each. 263 not all out, and they had 21 extras in fact, the Australians, so there we go. But the series level at 2-all, and that is about it from our coverage this afternoon. I hope very much you've enjoyed it. Russ has been very impressed. Brilliant comms as ever. Serie B. We'll chat with everyone very shortly. We'll look forward to your company in midweek with the Champions League. Tomorrow we go to Villa Park for our next live commentary offering, and that, as I say, comes from Villa Park when Aston Villa take on West Ham United, and we'll have a look at one of them, and that will be our first look at both sides, of course beautifully managed by Dean Smith, and Villa managed by Dean Smith, and of course West Ham managed by Manuel Pellegrini respectively. Well, Aston Villa in the bottom 3 as things stand, so a win for them would get them outside the bottom 3, so they could do with a win tomorrow night, Villa, to get their season back on track. But it's going to be hard for them 2 teams to follow what we've just seen here this afternoon. We thought it was going to be a tall order for 2 games today to follow what happened at Norwich and at Wolves and at Liverpool yesterday. Well, they certainly lived up to that. Bournemouth with a mammoth win over Everton, a team I fancy for finishing the top 6. And Watford producing the mother of all comebacks from 2-0 down and seemingly out of it. They never gave up, they never gave in, and in the end got a 2-all draw. But some may argue they should have possibly won it, but it doesn't matter. A point well earned and well deserved on the balance of play. That is it from me for today. Join me again at 7:45 at Villa Park tomorrow. Till then, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, rest of your Sunday nights. Enjoy Peaky Blinders or whatever you're going to watch tonight on the television. But for me, for now, take care. With the news that Australia win the Ashes, but England take the final test. And Watford have come from 2-0 down to draw 2-2 at Arsenal and send Arsenal Fan TV into meltdown. Good night.